can make them as excitable as you like, but the good flapjack that holds itself together, that's not too hard, it's got a chewiness about it, and for me, with a few raisins in it or sultanas, is divine, divine. So, looking at the ingredients, so simple. Butter, oats, brown sugar, soft light brown sugar, and golden syrup. Okay, super, super easy. Now, first thing is, I would suggest you just pick a larger pan than a smaller pan, because that will allow everything to melt together a little bit faster. So that's number one. So while that's happening, I shall just pop that over here for the butter to melt while I just get on with the other bits and bobs. So first thing we will do is actually line the tray. Again, going for something that has got square corners is going to be better. For any of these bars that we cut up, we want square as possible, because that means that all the pieces are going to be at the same size. And for a cake sale, that is really, really important. So you've probably heard me say this before, but remember to use your scissors when you're cutting the paper. And for this one, I'm not going to cut into the edges because it's going to be a runny mixture, all right? So I'm just going to just put that on there and pop it down here. Now I'm actually using a ceramic stone tray, which I have. Now, if I was doing lots and lots, I would have gone to the pan shop and I would have bought, you know, four of a similar size for the same thing. But I'm just doing one lot today, and it's just of interest. If you have stoneware, it does actually cook everything a little bit better, more evenly. But all you need to do, if you've got a standard roasting tin, is just keep an eye that it doesn't burn at the edges. That's all you need to do. And we will do that together. So that's there. Then I wanted to show you about measuring out the golden syrup and the butter. Now, of course, we have got a scenario where we can literally get our saucepan, put it on the scales, turn it on and get it to 0 and pour them straight in. And that is brilliant. However, I think it becomes a little bit more unmanageable when you have a really big pan on a small pad. So I thought I would just show you the old-fashioned way, which is you put your bowl, well, this is almost the old-fashioned way because I am using digital scales, but it works in the same way. So what we need here is 170 grams of golden syrup and 170 grams of sugar, soft light brown sugar. So what we'll do is we'll weigh the sugar in first. Oops, got a bit overexcited there. The sugar in first, and then make sure you put something on that to stop that spilling. There we go. And then just spread that around the bowl, and then I'm going to 0 that again, and then you can just plonk in your golden syrup onto the sugar. And the absolute magic is, so long as you make sure there's enough sugar going up the sides, but the magic is that, nearly there, oh, the last blue, that when you've measured it, it literally, the sugar just slides into the bowl. Oh, I've slightly moved it, but in essence, you don't have all that sticky golden syrup everywhere, which is really, really, really helpful. Right, I'll give that a quick whiz. So, that is just going to melt together, and I'll get a wooden spoon and give that a nice stir, and that's all we need it to do, just melt together. I think a nice little photo will be nice for you there, so you can see what's going on. And as I say, it doesn't need to boil up or anything madly, it just needs to be melted together. Next thing is we've got the oats. So I've got these weighed out. Now, for me, the nicest oats are the big, broad jumbo oats. But, you know, this is a cake sale. Go cheap and cheerful. Go with whatever you can get, all right? Just make it really super user-friendly. And I love to have some raisins in here. They're not essential, so you can leave them out if you want to. It's a good handful, but in fact, that is about 100 grams. So that is those sitting there. And then as soon as the butter is melted, which is nearly coming, I turned the heat down a bit so that it wouldn't boil up when I wasn't looking. Now there's one ingredient which is really delicious in these, and I love to, when it's at home I do it, and it's 2 teaspoons of, well actually it's 4 teaspoons of ground ginger. Really warming and really delicious. And so you can get carried away, you can put in nuts and seeds, you can put in currants, I don't go down the glacé cherry route because they're just that extra little bit too sweet. But you know, you can play around. But remember, this is a cake sale and it's all about money. So for the cake sale, keep it really, really simple. It's about speed, ease, and selling and joy, all right? And if you're wound down by complicated ingredients that have taken long time to weigh out, etc., then it's going to be less fun for you and more expensive. And when you come to add up your cash at the end of the day, you're not going to be quite as happy as you would have done if you hadn't spent all the money on those ingredients. Right. Needs a couple of moments there, so I'm just going to wait and then we will come back. Hey, right, here we go. So that is all lovely and melted now, and then we can just tip straight away the oats and raisins in there. You know, I sometimes like to add a pinch of salt too. That's a little bit of preference, so you can decide about that, but that's something I quite like to do, not essential. Do you know, I'm having rather a lot of people coming into my kitchen going, is that ready yet? Is that ready yet? And I'm going, no. And that's what's going to happen to you, because you are going to become the house #1 baker. Okie doke. Right, so careful, lifting up and then tipping straight in. Get out as much as you can, and then do use a spatula. Remember, anything left over is all money, so don't leave anything in the pan. So you really do need to be using these lovely non-stick silicone spatulas that you can put in heat into pans and they don't melt. That's what the silicone is there for. Right, I'm just going to use that spatula to spread this out. And this size tray, which I'll make sure you've got on the recipe, is a really good size for this amount of mixture. But you know, I think the tin goes smaller rather than larger because you want them to be a decent thickness, which is about 2 centimetres, I would say. Right, make sure that goes right up into the corners. Fabuloso. Super duper. Right, that is ready for the oven. So this is going to take 25 to 30 minutes, okay? And you want to just keep an eye. Make sure that sometimes ovens are uneven, so you might need to turn it round halfway through. And what we're looking for is starting to get bubbling and brown, really brown at the edges, and a lovely golden colour across the top. Now you need to sort of take a mental note, because it is a pale golden colour at the moment, but it will have a different sort of cooked look when it's done. So I'll take photos now, and then we'll obviously take photos and see you when it comes out of the oven. Okie doke, bye. Right, look at these scrummy flapjacks. I can't resist. I'm coming straight up to the camera to show them to you. Look at those. Look, all golden and delicious. Now, I've had them out of the oven and they've just sat here for literally 2 minutes. And what we have to do with flapjacks is that we have to get a knife and we have to score it and mark it. So I'm going to just, you can get tape measures out, but I don't do that. I use my eye. And I use my eye to go from end to end and find the middle. And it's a good idea to actually, before you go right across, to actually go around the other side and do this the other side, okay? Because invariably you make a mistake. So just press right down to the bottom of the dish, doing like that. And I'm then going to go halfway again. I'll just earmark this end. Halfway again and just press down, and then do that up at the other end. And press down. Super. Right, then I'm going to turn it round, and I'm going to have to use my eye a bit more because I'm making these into nice squares. So you could make it into large bars. You've got to decide what kind of cake style. Who are you feeding? You've got really big hungry teenagers that can afford to spend more money, or do you want them to spend less money on buying and just buy something smaller? So often that is the way. So I'm just, marking it off with my knife there, and then remember, come down the other end and mark it, because it will be so easy to get the line wrong. And then, horror of horrors, I would be so upset if they were all priced at £1 and I got the small one. That would really upset me. I'd be demanding a refund. Right, so that is all we do now, and very important for you to remember that you must do this 2 minutes after it comes out of the oven. And then you need to put it away, go away, and don't come back until it's stone cold. So that best to do something like this for a cake sale. Make it the night before, then you just put it somewhere cool, and you can cover it with a clean tea towel, and when you come down in the morning, it's all ready to go. Just remember that you've got to score it. Otherwise, you won't be able to break it up into lovely even pieces. So that is the gorgeous raisin flapjacks done. And well, it's a lot of exciting sugary activity in my kitchen. And you're gonna love it. Hi guys. Now I'm having a great cutting up session. So I've been doing lots of these videos back to back because it's been so much fun over 2 days, and of course now I've got lots of trays sitting here that all need cutting up, so we'll look at each one individually and I'll tuck it on to the end of that video, but it's great fun. So let's look at the flapjacks. Well, can you believe it? I don't know if you can see there, but there's a whole row missing. My family couldn't wait till the end of the photo shoot on the second day. Oh dear, oh dear. But anyway, all is well. I think all I need to say to you is always make double quantity, because that is always going to happen if you're making them at home, and you need to be sure you have enough for your cake sale. So you will remember with the flapjacks that as soon as they came out of the oven, we got the knife and we scored them. So now that it's completely cold, we can lift the paper off and pop it on a chopping board, and then go back with a big sharp chopping knife, chef's knife, and go back over those lines. And the depth of the knife here is really important because it helps you cut through completely without your hand getting in the way. So having done that, we're good to go. And I can you can arrange them back in the tray to take with you. I actually use, I will bring them out in the next video, when I'm cutting up the brownies, in fact, some white catering trays. So think about how you're going to transport things to the venue. Alternatively, you can layer them up. Sometimes what I do is actually I just cut through the paper like that. And this works very well for, in fact, everything I've got here. Ooh, that wasn't quite so good. You can just layer them up with a sheet of paper in between, and that again saves space and you can put them in Tupperware. So really useful, and that is the flapjack.